10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All systems go.
You're listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by.
On the morning shift.
Anything
Could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
And good morning and welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh, glad to be here with you. Thankful that you're here with us. We're live on Facebook in every other country other than Canada. We're live on YouTube here in Sudbury and the rest of the world and Canada. We're also live on CKLU 96.7 FM on the radio, cklu.ca online. You just click on the Radio Player Canada app on the website and figure it out, and you can stream us. There's also other streaming services where you can listen to the show online. We'll be found on demand on YouTube immediately following the show, on Facebook in every other country except for Canada. And we'll be found on x.com/Sudbury News and Sudbury.news, which is our news aggregating website, aggregating the local news organizations into one website. Mainly right now it's Sudbury Star and Sudbury.com. And we have local stories we're going to be covering this morning. Violence in the city on the rise as far as I can see. I don't remember it being the way as bad as it is ever. I don't care what statistics say. Violent crime is up. And when I say I don't care what statistics say, I don't care what spinning the statistics does. The statistics do show that crime is rising, violent crime in this city. And what's the reasons for that? Well, there's many reasons. As the opioid crisis increases, as homelessness increases, as mental health and addictions increases, as the laws continue the way that they are with catch and release, people being charged with things and then just released back into the community to commit more crime. That's part of the reason. There's all kinds. Our population is increasing. There's many people coming up from Toronto. There's all kinds of reasons for it. But the federal government's answer to this is to take away legal owners of firearms and have them bring them in and confiscate them. That's the federal government's idea for this. Which I think if you just think logically, you know that if you're a criminal, you're not going to go bring in your gun because the government's asking you to voluntarily bring it in. Right? So just think for 1 second, if you can. Some people have lost the ability, and I understand that. So the federal government wants legal, law-abiding firearm owners to bring in their guns and give them to them in answer to the violent crime situation in Canada. Just think again. Now, I know it's hard. We're not used to it. We're used to others thinking for us these days. But just think about that. So if you were a criminal and you had every intention to using whatever it is that you have, a firearm, to move forward your agenda, to get what you want, and the government says, yeah, we got this great program, all these firearms, we're going to be asking you to bring them in, and we'll pay you a couple bucks for each one. Oh, yeah, wow. That's great. So I'll give you that for a couple bucks when I could use it to get thousands of bucks and do my bidding for me and give me the power that I need. Does that make sense? Okay, we'll leave that with you to make your own conclusion, but we'll cover a little bit of that this morning and see if we have any time to deep dive into anything further. Jerome sent me a video the other morning or yesterday about a local girl, Megan, who basically was commenting on Jamie West's post where he was promoting getting your latest vaccinations, flu and COVID-19 shots. And basically she shared some scientific information about vaccine injuries with the page. And then he basically censored the comments after that. So that's something I don't know if we'll get time to get to, but I'd love to, because that's going on locally. And we'll get some local weather, news headlines, your comments when we come back right after this. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great show, I promise, or your money back. And weather brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. Currently, it is minus 17 degrees, wind chill minus 23. Today, mainly cloudy, 60% chance of flurries. High of minus 14, wind chill minus 30 this morning, minus 20 this afternoon, risk of frostbite. Tonight, partly cloudy, 40% chance of flurries. Early this evening, clearing overnight, wind moderate. The low of minus 25, wind chill minus 21 in the evening, minus 33 overnight. So the overnight is extremely cold. It's been extremely cold for this last week. The daytime is, regular winter temperatures, but overnights have been just brutal. And then tomorrow, mainly sunny. High of minus 17, wind chill minus 35 in the morning and minus 25 in the afternoon. So brutally cold again tomorrow, risk of frostbite as well. And then until we get to Friday, okay, so it's mainly sunny tomorrow. It's hanging on to that mainly sunny thing. We're supposed to have, remember, 4 days of unadulterated sun. But it's still saying tomorrow's going to be mainly sunny, not just sun. Friday, 40% chance of flurries, minus 14. It was supposed to be sunny, but now it's a 40% chance of flurries. But they're saying Saturday and Sunday are going to be sunny, minus 11, minus 6, and then minus 6 as well on Monday with a mix of sun and cloud, minus 8 on Tuesday. So it's looking like getting to very moderate temperatures starting in the weekend and through the beginning of next week and into next week. So I think that's good news, regardless of whether, it's going to be sunny outside or not, which you've heard me say it time and time again with the geoengineering that's going on. They just can't help themselves by spraying the skies and making it overcast. And then whatever's coming down from the chemical spray that they're spraying over our heads, we don't know all of the stuff, but we do know it's not good to breathe in. Breathe in chemicals. You just let that sink in for a second. You're breathing in chemicals, okay? What chemicals am I breathing in? Can breathing in chemicals be good in any way, shape, or form? Are there good chemicals to breathe in on a daily, constant basis? But it is what it is. And if you haven't heard of geoengineering, you can do your own research. Go to geoengineeringwatch.org. It's probably the website that has the most information about it. If you're wondering what they're spraying you with on a daily basis over your head and influencing the weather. And one of the downsides is that it just blocks the sun most of the time, and sun is good for us. Vitamin D helps the plants grow and stuff, but I guess they've all got together and decided that cooling down the planet is a necessity, even though now Bill Gates has turned around on that whole idea that this is a grim thing and that we all need to make drastic measures to cool down the earth. He's done a full circle back on that, and you can look that up yourself if you don't believe it. Bill Gates does not believe that climate change is a looming threat anymore. I don't know what that means, why he did that, but it is what it is, and that's the world we live in, and that's your Sudbury weather, brought to you by sudburyweather.ca. We'll be back. News headlines, comments, and more right after this. All right, well, thanks for sticking around, everyone. Thanks for being here, by the way, and thanks for sticking with us as we lost one of our platforms in Sudbury and in Canada. Still broadcasting throughout the world on Facebook, but not in Canada due to government policies, which makes Canada the only country that uses Facebook that prohibits news from being posted or shared. And now we have been considered real news. So I guess we should feel honored that we are considered real news by Facebook. So we are a real news organization. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Now my eyes are brutal today. Just brutal. So looks like we have Marianne here. Good morning, everyone from Barrie. And let's see here. And Monique, good morning to you. And prayer emoji there, smiley emoji, much appreciated, much needed. And bingo, good morning to you. Peace sign, snow. And Marianne, so apparently there was an earthquake in Barrie last night. Interesting. We're going to see more and more of those. We'll see more and more of those. And Belinda, good morning to you. Stick to love. Hate is too great of a burden to bear. So stick to love. Hate is too great of a burden to bear. That's true. If you hate, you carry it around like big rocks in a bag all the time. But you can let it go and choose to let it go and love instead, right? Let that sink in for a while. Choose to love rather than hate. And even if you hate, try and turn it around to forgiveness somehow, even if the person hasn't asked for it or isn't showing signs. But it doesn't mean you still have to interact with that person and put yourself in the same vulnerable position that maybe caused the hate. However, you can let it go. You can forgive. Heard it registered 3.7, the earthquake in Barrie last night. Yes, it's, who knows, man-made things they're doing to save the planet, apparently, is affecting our weather and is affecting earthquakes and volcanoes and all that it's the HARP program. If you haven't heard about that, HAARP, you can look it up. This is the great thing about today. Even if you get false information when you first look things up, continue to look for it and you'll find more. HAARP. Okay, good morning, people. That's Northern Hillbilly. Good morning to you. Marianne says, okay. Takes a lot of energy to carry around so much negativity. That's right. And a great thought, positive thought of the day, always by Belinda. Homestead Trad Wife, good morning to you. As I am sticking a lot with the handles, unless it's your name is sticking with me, and you'll have to forgive me with being on the ball first thing in the morning with the translating of the handles. I do know Belinda's is Serenity, so Northern Hillbilly, Sudbury is waking at a crawl's pace. Awakening at a crawl's pace. Hopefully, and Selena, great to see you on. I haven't seen you in so long. I've seen you on the show a few times commenting and stuff. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. And glad I'm back on YouTube. Yes. Been on YouTube pretty much. I think I missed a couple days due to illness or whatever. And it's hard for me to let everyone know I'm not doing a show. It's so easy on Facebook. I just put a post. But I have to do a video if I'm on YouTube, a quick video, and my phone was acting up, and I couldn't just do a little video saying that we couldn't have a show. So I'll work on that. Maybe make sure I can do that in the future. And Evelyn, good morning to you. It's great. It's pretty dangerous per capita in Sudbury. Hit the top of the list. And good morning to you all. Yes, I guess for violent crime you're speaking of, right? And good morning. And sorry for my eyes being so weirdly, abnormally bad this morning. They're usually pretty bad. But Maurice, good morning to you. Much appreciated for all y'all being on. And Mike, oh no, Miles, sorry. Surrey, BC, Mayor has called a state of emergency with extortion and violent crime out of control, asking for federal assistance. Yes, this is the kind of world that we're stepping into in Canada. You have to ask yourself why. Maybe it's because Donald Trump. Maybe it's Donald Trump's fault that violent crime is on the rise in Canada, right? That's what we're going to hear in the next election. Everything's Donald Trump's fault. Get your elbows ready to go. Maybe you can vote with your elbow. I don't know. Try voting with your elbow next time. Okay, Larry, good morning. My fellow Canadians, good morning to you, Larry. And Belinda, I read that with the buyback program for the firearms, the people that have turned in their you-know-whats are not getting paid. There's no money in the budget. Yeah, right. Oh, I guess they're giving it to increase the HST for saving money on groceries. Anyways, you all saw that? That's what they're doing now. Same thing Justin Trudeau did, right? Now Mark Carney. So yeah, it's funny. You hear it in the office. You hear someone from their office yell, "Oh, they're giving a GST rebate." Like they're just reading the headlines and stuff. Oh, that's good. Well, we don't get GST or HST checks. A lot of people, right? So they don't get any rebates at the grocery store. But they're doing it for a segment of the population, and it's interesting how the Justin Trudeau did the very same thing, a little over a year ago, and Mark Carney's doing the exact same thing right now. But Justin Trudeau said it was for 11 million people, and Carney says it's for 12 million people. So I guess our population increased a year by another million, so that's why it's 12 million now. And in the House of Commons, Mark Carney even slipped up and said, it's for 11 million. I mean 12 million people, right? And he laughed. Ha ha ha, we got 12 more million people that are 1 more million people since last year, and we're going to give them some freebies. Kind of thing, right? So that's what the government's doing. They're increasing our population, trying to get it to 100 million people by, 2050? Something like that. That's their program. That's an actual program by this government. But it's not going to be from your babies. They're not increasing the population from your babies. They're just bringing people into the country in the droves to increase the population to 100 million people. Pretty crazy, huh? So I'm just going to give a couple morning shout outs here. Andrew, good morning to you. Thanks for being on, as usual, sticking with your commitment to say good morning as we were talking way back when. Appreciate that. And Vin, good morning to you. Thanks for being on always, guys. Yeah, we said about Jamie West promoting the vaccination and then taking down all the comments on his Facebook page. Okay, you're not a fan, Larry. I can tell you that. You're not a fan of Jamie West. Just the political party he belongs to, just if you read what they're about. I mean, I'm not for communism myself, right? But they really should call themselves the Communist Party of Canada. Really, it's not a low ball comment that I'm making. I'm not saying anything other than what it should be called. It should be called the Communist Party. That's what they stand for. If you look at the definition of communism and you look at their platform, that's really what it is. So I'm not a fan of that myself. I'm not a fan of communism. Nothing to do with communism at all. It's an experiment that's been tried all over the world. It's never worked. Like, it's never been a kind of a country that you'd want to live in. Put it that way. Maybe there's different elements, like, yeah, sure, getting an MRI the day you go and just pay $120, get an MRI, get a CAT scan same day, get your results, get out. Hey, I'm all for that. But if it comes with all the rest of the stuff, and I'm talking about China, are there Canadians breaking down the door to go and emigrate to China? And if not, why? Right? Why are there no Canadians doing everything they can to go to a communist country and take up residence there? Have you ever asked yourself that? But there are a lot of people from communist countries coming here. So have you ever asked yourself that? What's the reason for that? And we've been warned many times for people who have escaped tyrannical governments coming here and seeing the signs that ours are showing signs that we're going in that direction. Right? And one of the things is confiscating the citizens' guns. That is a communistic type policy. No communist country wants their citizens to be armed. Right? And why would that be? Right? Ask yourself that. Why wouldn't a government want? And Jerome, good morning to you. Thanks for being on. Oh, you got the YouTube thingy down. Right on. Cool. So why would a government want their citizens not to be armed, right? And if you look at this headline, Sudbury Star from just yesterday, talking about the Kathleen Street fiasco, sends 3 men to hospital in Sudbury, right? So 3 men face weapons charges. I wonder what type of weapons. It doesn't say in this article, conveniently enough, and we don't know why. They're just facing weapons charges. You'd think, well, I did right away. I said to myself, what type of weapons are these? But they're facing weapons charges in relation to an assault in the Donovan that sent several people to the hospital, police said in an update Monday afternoon. Greater Sudbury Police have responded around 11:40 a.m. to the incident on Kathleen. Multiple individuals appeared to be injured outside a residence. The police service said upon arrival, officers located 3 individuals with serious cuts and lacerations. So that gives us an idea of what type of weapons, I guess, right? All 3 individuals were transported to the hospital with serious injuries. Police said they believed the 3 individuals were involved in an altercation, obviously, inside the residence on Kathleen, leading to all 3 parties sustaining injuries. Weapons believed to have been used in the altercation were recovered. The police service said all 3 men, aged 32, 38, 44, will be charged with weapons-related offenses. And in the meantime, they remain in hospital. Police said this was a targeted incident. Anyone with information, please contact them. Now, this is the thing. In England, right? They outlaw firearms to their citizens. But violent crime is just as bad. And you can commit violent crime just as easily with anything. A hammer, a bat, a knife, anything, a hubcap, anything you can wield in your hand and strike someone with, rocks, pieces of glass, you name it, right? If you really want to hurt somebody, and that's what's happened. So it's human nature that's the culprit. And if you want to do damage to somebody, you'll pick up whatever you got and you'll use it. Now, the other firearms makes it harder for governments, let's say, so governments are allowed to have firearms, but the citizens aren't. And so what is that? So let's just say if it will, a lot of people say, well, that would never happen here, where the government would usurp its own force and power over citizens like they did with the Emergencies Act, and then were found that it was done illegally through one court and then the appeals court as well. So through the courts, at least they've deemed that the federal government was unlawful when they executed the Emergencies Act. I believe it was 2002 in Ottawa, right? So they illegally usurped their power over citizens. So now you have them also taking away their guns. So take away guns, shut down their bank accounts whenever they want, for whatever reasons they have. Just do whatever they want. So we're already seeing signs of it already, and it's only going to get more. Mark Carney just announced that his new partnership with China somehow ushers in or brings us closer to, or we're announcing the New World Order, or it's all in part and parcel to the New World Order, whatever that means, whatever he means by it, right? He was asked, I think, by Bloomberg or one of these journalistic outlets, organizations, what did he mean by it? And then he gave some ambiguous answer to that. He didn't really lay it out. But all you liberals out there, if you want to classify yourself as that, if you had your elbows up during the last election and you voted in the global banker to take us into the New World Order, whatever that means, know that George Bush, who's a Republican, back in the 90s, already announced the New World Order. Yes, he's conservative, and he announced it. And so here you have a conservative and a liberal, both publicly saying they want a new world order, and it's part of the same. So ask yourself, is there a difference between the two? Right? If you are just politically minded and you say, I'm a liberal, liberals believe this, and we all stick together and we all do whatever. No, you're a citizen, they're the government, and we're two different classes. Whatever they call themselves, whatever they're manipulating you to do, it's a big club and you ain't in it, George Carlin, right? It's a club and you ain't in it. Or I. And but we'll find out what the New World Order is very shortly. And then there was a stabbing in a restaurant just recently, yesterday or the day before. Stabbing in the restaurant. They're looking for the individual now. What's the headline here? Where did it go? Yeah, there's a knife attack at the Sudbury fast food restaurant. Sends a man to hospital. And then Sudbury man threatens to slit a security guard's throat. So those are 3 headlines in 2 days just from the Sudbury Star alone, right? So violence is on the rise. And so the federal government says, yes, we're going to buy back all of the law-abiding gun owners' guns. And that's going to help somehow. So again, for you who are still able to think, ask yourself how taking law-abiding firearms owners' guns, how that's going to help with the rise in violent crime in Canada. How is that helping? But that's their only solution, and they're hell-bent. Every time the Liberals get in, that's one of the first orders of business they have. They got to take away your firearms. And again, every communist country in the world, that's one of the first things they do when they seize power, is they take away your ability to protect yourself. So they're the only ones. So communism is like, we're daddy and mommy and you rely on us for everything. So instead of being a teenager or a young adult or an adult in society, you become a child again. everything you need is given to you from the state. So the state becomes everything to you, and you rely on them for everything. Right? Can't afford groceries at the grocery store? Hey, the government's here to help you. We are going to help with the groceries. We're going to give you a little bit more money on your GST or HST. So what does that even do? It doesn't even combat the rise in grocery prices anyways, but it makes it look as if they're helping you. And that's just the way governments do things, and that's the way we do things, is just to say it out loud on the show. Maybe we'll have more time for the Jamie West post about encouraging people to get their vaccinations without allowing people to share some of the information on his Facebook page that shows that people should maybe take into consideration possibilities if they do it. What are some negative possibilities if they actually go through with that? And there's scientific evidence now, because it's been long enough. But he censored those comments and just left up his post. He kept the ones that said, "Yeah, good job. You're doing a good job, Jamie," and then took down the ones that cautioned people and gave scientific information to back that up. All right. That's all the time we got for the show today. Thanks for being on, everyone. I'm glad that we actually had a show, although it was a shorter one. Thanks to our guest yesterday, Miranda Rocco Circelli, who really was a really great guest. And she starts the new not-for-profit SudburyCIA.ca is the website for that. It's citizens basically holding our municipal government accountable. There needs to be more citizens doing things like that, and then, or at least get involved with that particular movement, because accountability is getting less and less. And as we move into the new world order that Mark Carney announced with China the other day, it's us and them, you know, like Pink Floyd said. And yeah, so remember to get involved and do what we can to help our fellow brothers and sisters that are out there, to make sense, first of all, of a confusing world, and then what do you do about it? I just think it's going to build a community myself, a community of like-minded people, and there's opposition always in all things, and so we can turn that opposition and challenges into something positive, and that's what we're going to continue to strive for. Thanks for being with us today. Make sure to like, share, take care. And we'll be back same time on the same platforms, God willing, tomorrow. And stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU 96.7 FM on the radio. And ciao for now.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.